Hey guys, this is Enia, and I'm very excited today as we're going to talk about MSTR Implied Volatility and market sentiment. I'm going to mention what IV is and what it signals, and I'm going to review MSTR Implied Volatility on real data to get a grasp of past and current market sentiment. So what is implied volatility? Implied volatility is a measure of sentiment of the market, and it tells us how much the market expects the price of a stock to move in the future. It's implied because, as the name says, it's derived from the supply and demand of the options of an underlying. So generally speaking, as you can see here in the graph, if you have low implied volatility, that means that the market expects smaller price change, smaller price movements, a less broad, a tighter range of price movements. With high volatility, instead, it's pricing in the premium of the option. It's pricing the expectation that the price of the stock might move a lot with very extreme movements. So to make an example, on the 18th of November 2024, MSTR price was at 385 and the implied volatility was 1.25. From this, we can derive the expected stock price range that the market is actually pricing into the premiums of the option. But let's look at real data, as implied volatility is best observed when you look at it during its evolution, because there we can assess if it is high or low based on its past levels. Here we're looking at a $400 call with expiration in March, on the 21st of March. And we can observe the price of MSTR, how it rallied during Q4 and then stayed kind of at higher levels and then started dropping. During the same time, the premium was increased sharply, as we see. And this sharp increase was actually reflected in the implied volatility. And just a reminder that the premium is the result of supply and demand for options of an underlying. So it's actually where bid and ask meet for that option, which means that if there is high demand, the price is gonna increase, and in this case, it increased sharply. And what does the implied volatility tell us in this period? So before it was around 1, quite stable, and all of a sudden there was a sharp change. It's like the market sentiment got updated. The market sentiment started to grow as the premiums started to skyrocket, and that meant that the market was signaling high expected price fluctuations in the future. And then after reaching the top and the premium started to drop, actually also the implied volatility started to drop, and now it's very, very low levels. Very generally speaking, when the implied volatility is high, then the premium is high. So it's very good for anybody who's selling options, because they receive a lot of cash for that and they're rewarded highly. While periods where the implied volatility is low, they're very good for anybody who is actually purchasing options, because of course the premiums are very cheap. But something interesting that we can read also in the data that I added here is the price range, the implied price range derived from the implied volatility over time. So we can really see by looking at this how the expectations of the market were kind of conservatives still in this period here, and then all of a sudden they expanded. So the market expected or a huge uplift of the price of the stock or a drop. But here is something to notice, the asymmetry of the price range, because a stock can drop maximum to 0, so you might have maximum 100% drop, but you can have potentially an infinite price rally. But we can also see how the price, once the price of the stock started to actually drop slightly, then the premium dropped even more sharply, and the price range, the expected price range that the market was pricing into the options started to drop as well, and now we are at very conservative levels. So yeah, this is not financial advice, any of these, just a reminder. So I just point out what I see in the data. But of course, if you are very bullish about MSTR, then this is an exceptional moment to buy options, because we have very low implied volatility. All right, that was it, and I hope you added something to the way you look at options. and have a great day.